Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 29th of July, 2016. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and give this a thumbs up. This video needs to go viral more than any other video on YouTube right now, in my opinion. I'm at the cover of Veterans Today right now, the website. I'll leave a link in the description. This is talking about a crime that occurred back in January 19th of 2015. And Army veteran filmmaker David Crowley and his family, his wife and his 5-year-old daughter, were all found murdered in their home. Why am I bringing this up? Because this guy is on a short list with Breitbart, Aaron Russo, Bill Cooper, Hastings, anyone else that actually tried to tell people the real truth, not the co-opted truth, not the watered down halfway, not going to tell you the Israeli Mossad is behind it truth. These guys tried to tell you the real truth. And the reason I'm bringing this up is David brought us a trailer for a movie he was making, and it was amazing, and it was an enormous sign of the times. I'm going to show you this short 2-minute clip right now to refresh your memories if you already haven't seen it.
Last night I dreamt about how things were. And then I woke up here.
Now, 𝗥𝗲𝗺𝗶𝗱𝗄 YouTube channel did a good video on this, and she focused in on this guy right here, the executioner that's standing at the guillotines. Not only is he dressed in white, covered in blood, but he's also wearing, clearly, a Freemasonic apron. This is what they wear during their rituals and their rites. I've seen this at any rate, let me digress from that. Okay, why isn't this on YouTube at least once a week? Maybe people aren't aware. Well, that's ridiculous, because we saw lots of coverage from many channels. Many channels covered this back when this happened, but for some reason it's fallen to the wayside. No opportunists have moved in to pick up on this. Several large YouTube channels not only are aware of this, but they were there and they got to see a trailer. But yet when you go to their sites, you don't see any word about this whatsoever. Well, I'm not going to let this happen. There's 10,000 of us on this channel. And if everybody shares this and likes this, keep this alive. Don't let this guy die in vain. Don't let them besmirch his name. I was going through my documents when I got back from my few-day trip, and I found David Crowley. I'm going to show you what it is. This is the only update or information we have received on this whole thing. This came out in January of 2016, and they are just absolutely, it took them a year to think up a story that would fit into their modern day agenda that we're seeing playing out right now.
Tonight, new and disturbing details we've never heard before.
The reality is the truth of what happened to David Crowley and his family is stranger and sadder than anyone imagined. To look at the three of them through the Instagram filter of life, it's hard to imagine how it all went so wrong. David Crowley, a talented, promising young filmmaker, his smart and beautiful wife, 𝗵𝗃, a dietitian, and their adorable 5-year-old daughter, Rania.
Tragic loss of an entire family. It looks like David snapped and took the lives of his wife and daughter.
Yeah, he just snapped. They have absolutely no reason, so they're going to go with he snapped. Now, bear in mind, this guy, the movie was already in production. They had already done scenes. He already had actors. They just received $30 million to go towards the production of this movie. Remember that.
And ultimately himself.
And from the start, it was a case wrapped in suspicion and mystery.
Here's the red flags.
With paranoid theories all over the internet.
Guys out here going after the truth get knocked off.
That the Crowleys were murdered as some kind of government conspiracy. All because of a personal film project David Crowley had worked on obsessively for years. This is a concept trailer for Gray State, which imagines the U.S. government.
It imagines the U.S. government. That's not what he was. He wasn't imagining. He was seeing with his own eyes.
Taking away all our liberties. 𝗵𝗃 had told her family she was the sole breadwinner, that she was not physically or emotionally abused, but the financial struggles made her question the marriage.
But they just received $30 million towards the production. So we know all those quotes right there are bullshit. You'll notice in this clip, they contradict themselves pretty much every third word.
He just lost his way.
A sliding back door was found slightly ajar, apparently for the family dog. But there were no footprints in the snow, no sign of forced entry.
Except for the sliding back door that was ajar.
Inside, detectives would find a scene of domestic horror and normalcy. Teasing little love notes the couple left for each other around the murder-suicide took place the day after Christmas. David shooting 𝗵𝗃 twice in the head, Rania once, before shooting himself. Between their bodies, a Quran, with pages torn out, opened to a traditional forgiveness prayer. And there on the wall, above the bodies, scrawled in blood, the words, Allah Akbar.
Who wrote Allah Akbar on the wall?
He did.
In her blood?
Yes.
In the home office, on a notepad, more bloody fingerprints, and the words, submit to Allah now. We may never know what made David Crowley finally snap, but we do know this. There are some 1,500 murder-suicides in the U.S. every year.
I want to give huge props to 𝗥𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗆's channel. If you're not subscribed to her, you should. She just put this video out on the 8th of July, and it's one of the videos that inspired me to make this video. 𝗥𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗆 put out a great video about a year ago, and I'm encouraging him to do this again. Luke Radowski, Mark Dice, all these other guys that have an opportunity. I mean, when you have 500,000 or more subscribers and you're supposed to be in the truth community, how are you not covering this? It would make an impact. Look at the truth bombs we've done where we've got huge channels to shut down their comments or to shut down events. It would matter. I'm not letting this die. Not only are they disgracing this guy, not only did they quiet this guy by killing him, his wife, and his 5-year-old daughter. A year later, they come out with this Allah Akbar bullshit. It's disgraceful. We as a truth community cannot let this lie. I'm going to show you a clip from this 𝗥𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗆 video where you can see where she's talking about what she thinks is the actual straw that broke the camel's back, we'll call it.
Favorite game against the notorious cabal. It's a game they've played with the human race for years. They provide clues about the future to toy with us. They did it with 9/11. They've done it with other major catastrophes. It's called predictive programming. On occasion, though, they get outsmarted at their own game. What was David's hidden message inside the gray state? And could it be the reason for his death? Perhaps the scariest part of Gray State's conceptual trailer is this character here, who appears to be operating a guillotine. David Crowley was very intentional in this frame of the movie. He added something that I believe he wanted the people to know about. Who is the identity of this executioner? If you look closely, you will see that this terrifying character is wearing something around his waist. It appears to look like an apron. The executioner wears a Freemason apron, complete with the all-seeing eye, the compass, and the two pillars. I do believe David Crowley is trying to tell us something. He is telling us that the organization behind the French and American revolutions, the organization behind the Italian Revolution of 1830, the organization that outlined a plan to overtake the Vatican in a document called the Alta Vendita, the organization behind the Trail of Tears and the deaths of thousands of Native Americans under Freemason Grand Master Andrew Jackson, the organization behind the Ku Klux Klan in the United States post-Civil War and its rebirth in 1915, the organization behind the detonations at Hiroshima and Nagasaki during 33rd degree Freemason Harry Truman's presidency. These are men with a radical revolutionary agenda throughout the entire world because they worship and follow a radical revolutionary deity. The first to have led a revolt against the Most High Lord. David Crowley knew something, and he was trying to warn the people. The ones behind the FEMA death camps, the guillotines, and the detention of Americans, it's the Freemasons. They're planning a second American Revolution.
I'm going to leave links in the description, and I'm going to urge all of you to subscribe to my backup channel because I'm sure this is going to get another copyright. YouTube has already pretty much slowed my videos to a halt, as well as my subscriptions. I'm asking you people to share this, to like this, and to subscribe to my backup channel, and I'll leave links for all this in the description. Don't let them get away with this. This should not be a memory. This should be a hot topic at all times. This guy gave not only his life, but his family's life. And they have besmirched his name and made him look like a lunatic. Richie from Boston, I'm out.